Hi everyone, my name is Gemma Stafford. I'm a professional chef, host of Bigger Bolder Baking and a proud brand ambassador for GoodCook. Recently I shared with you a recipe for a chocolate and peanut butter cake using some of my favourite GoodCook tools. Right now I'm going to share a recipe with you that I think you're really going to love. It is a decadent chocolate mousse that can be made in just 10 minutes. The recipe for this mousse can be found on goodcook.com along with all of the information about the tools that I use. Okay, let's get started with our mousse. So this recipe is all about the chocolate, so you want to make sure you use good quality. Now what I like to use is something in and around 70% cocoa solids, kind of bittersweet, so you get that nice bit of sharpness, but you also get mild sweetness. This is perfect for this kind of a recipe. So put that into your bowl. Then next up we have some instant coffee granules. I love these for baking because they're concentrated flavor and they dissolve in any kind of a liquid. So we're going to pop them in there. Now a lot of people don't know this, but coffee actually works as a really great seasoning for chocolate. It just brings out all the lovely flavors and it complements it really well. And then we're also going to add in a dash of water just to help the chocolate melt. Okay, so there we go, all our lovely ingredients. Now, as you can see, I have it in this GoodCook 3/4 bowl. I really love these because they're heat resistant and it's also a great size. I use it a lot in the kitchen. What we're going to do is pop this over a pot of simmering water and let the chocolate melt. So this technique is called melting over a bain-marie, and what a bain-marie is just a pot of simmering water, not boiling, and then a bowl put over it to melt whatever is inside. This will just make sure that you melt the chocolate very gently and it doesn't burn. So once you see that your chocolate is melted, just carefully remove it from the heat, and all we're going to do is just set it aside, let it cool down before we add in the rest of our ingredients. Once your chocolate has cooled down, we're going to go ahead and add in our room temperature egg yolks, some vanilla extract, and a little bit of salt, because chocolate loves salt. And then just very quickly whisk it all together. You want to do this nice and fast so the eggs don't cook on the chocolate. Okay, perfect, just set this aside and we're going to get on with whipping up our egg whites. Now, in case you're worried about eating raw eggs, there's a few things you can do. You can buy pasteurized eggs in the store, or you can put your eggs in a heat-proof bowl, pop it back over the bain-marie and let them heat up over the bain-marie and keep on whisking. This will heat treat them and make them safe for eating. All this information is written on the recipe, so you can read that there too. A good metal bowl and a whisk will get you really far in the kitchen. I have so many recipes using just these two pieces of equipment. You'll be so surprised what you can make. Okay, these are looking good. They're nice and stiff. Now what we're going to do is take these and then fold a little bit into our chocolate mix. So this method is called introducing, and it's really important when you're making a chocolate mousse. You just add in a little bit and then very swiftly, because chocolate sets, fold in the egg whites as fast as you can. You might even need to stir it a bit just to loosen it up. And this just helps before you add in the rest of your egg whites. It helps to kind of loosen it up a little bit. Okay, lovely. And then we're just going to go ahead and add in the rest of our egg whites. And then continue to fold these in. And like I said, swiftly as you go, so the chocolate doesn't set. Once you can't see any more lumps of egg white, you are all good. Fantastic. Let me give this a little taste. Oh yeah, I mean seriously. You can taste that little bit of coffee. Oh, yummy. Our mousse is done. Let's get it into some lovely presentation glasses. So all I'm going to do is just fill these up to the very top with my mousse. I'm literally bringing them up to the brim just so you get as much as you possibly can. So all we have to do now is just pop these guys into the fridge and let them set up for a minimum of 4 hours, but they can also be made a day in advance. So it's been a few hours and our chocolate mousse is all set up. Now this is such a lovely little dessert by itself, so it doesn't need a whole lot. So all I'm going to do is pipe on some whipping cream. So now I've got some disposable piping bags here. They're Sweet Creations by GoodCook. Every baker needs to have a pack of these in your kitchen because I go through so many of them. They're just really handy to have, and then also a good set of piping nozzles. Now all I'm going to do is just pipe a nice big rosette. You do not need to have mad cake decoration skills to do this. Just let the nozzle in the bag do all the work. Gorgeous. This is one of my favorite desserts of all time, ever since I was a little kid. Then I'm just going to sprinkle over a little bit of grated chocolate. And there you have for yourself a decadent chocolate mousse made in just 10 minutes. One thing I love about this dessert is that you get a whole little bowl just for yourself. There's something kind of satisfying about the first scoop into a chocolate mousse. Just look at all those bubbles with all the whipping and the air that we got into it. It just makes for such a light and fluffy dessert. You know why I love this? It is the perfect balance of sweet with a tiny little bit of bitterness from that rich chocolate, and the cream on top, and all that lovely soft texture. For the chocolate lovers out there, if you've got 10 minutes to spare, you have time to make this dessert. If you liked this recipe, then make sure you tap that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos. For this recipe and lots more information, make sure you go over to goodcook.com.